If you replay every word you said hours later, this isn't insecurity, it's how your brain processes meaning. And that quiet loop in your head where conversations replay themselves isn't you being weak or socially awkward, it's your mind trying to understand patterns, tone, and tension, and emotional outcome long after the moment has passed. In psychology says this habit shows up most in people who care deeply about accuracy, connection, and self-awareness, even when it feels exhausting. What feels like overthinking is often metacognition, your brain thinking about thinking, and research shows that people who reflect on interactions are not stuck in the past, they are extracting information, learning social nuance, and refining future behavior, which means this habit is less about fear and more about depth. Your brain is wired to review social moments, because human connection once determined safety, belonging, and survival, and psychology explains that the mind naturally scans conversations for cues, approval, rejection, or misalignment, especially if you are emotionally intelligent or socially perceptive. So when you replay a moment, it's often your social monitoring system checking whether everything felt right, not because something went wrong, but because your brain values connection. Neuroscience also points to the default mode network, which activates when you are alone, quiet, or lying in bed. And this network is responsible for reflection, memory, and meaning-making. So when the world slows down, your brain finally has space to process what it couldn't during the moment, and that's why conversations resurface at night or in silence, because your mind is finishing unfinished cognitive work, not punishing you. Memory consolidation plays a role too, because emotionally charged interactions get stored more deeply, and research shows that the brain replays memories to strengthen learning and future prediction. So if a conversation mattered even slightly, your mind may replay it to encode lessons, what worked, what didn't, and how to respond next time, which is a sign of adaptive learning, not dysfunction. There is also negativity bias, which means the brain gives more attention to what felt uncertain, awkward, or unresolved, because those moments carry more perceived risk. So your mind zooms in on a sentence, tone, or pause, not to shame you, but to protect you, and this is common in people who are conscientious, thoughtful, and socially aware, especially those who care about how others feel. Over time, this habit becomes a form of emotional intelligence, because replaying conversations builds pattern recognition, empathy, and foresight, and psychology shows that people who reflect deeply often anticipate others' needs, communicate more carefully, and grow faster socially, even if the process feels tiring. And the key difference is learning to observe the replay without self-attack. So if your mind revisits conversations long after they end, it doesn't mean you're broken, it means your brain is wired for depth, awareness, and growth. And with compassion, this habit can become insight instead of self-criticism, because reflection only becomes harmful when you mistake awareness for failure. If this explains something you've always felt but never had words for, stay with this channel, because psychology becomes powerful when it finally makes you feel understood, and sometimes understanding yourself is the calm you were looking for all along.